All right, we're going to be talking fan polls. That's right. On the channel, we are starting to have some polls in the community tab. We got the community tab. I said, hey, might as well use it. And I was shocked at the amount of people that have been voting on our polls, going to the community tab, leaving comments. I really didn't think for the size of the channel, I was like, we'll get like one or two people, maybe 10, maybe 20, right? But we've gotten hundreds of votes on some of these polls. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. We're going to continue this every week. Throw up 2 or 3 polls. That way we have something to talk about. This week was extra special because we had some polls about the channel, as well as some polls just about general gaming topics. So we got 3 of them, Days. Which one do you want to go through first? We got, are you a retro or modern gamer? We got, what kind of gaming content do you want to see on the channel? And of course, we got, which console is better, Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo?
Let's save that one for last, the SNES Genesis one. So either of those other two, if you want. Good, the content maybe for your channel, or sounds good.
And we'll just go through them in order. How's that sound?
Okay.
It'll make it easier on everybody. So I asked, are you a retro or modern gamer? This was up 2 days only. It's got 113 votes. In last place, the people voting were pre-NES retro gamer, only 24%. And second place with 28%, current or last generation modern gamer. And with 48% of the vote, post-NES retro gamer. So from NES till about PS3 era, I would count as more of a modern retro gamer.
I'm glad that many people voted. It doesn't surprise me though. Post NES, I kind of fit. I mean, I don't know really. I can't really consider myself a current gamer. I mean, I do play some new games, but it's rare, or it's not rare, but it's like I play Halo, like I said earlier. But I fit in both those categories, the pre NES and the post NES, because I still like to play my Atari games and my Vectrex I have. So I still kind of dip my toes into some of that pre stuff, but I do play quite a bit of the NES and Super Nintendo and stuff like that. So
I don't play anything other than the modern consoles. I would, if available, if the option was there to play like a PS3, maybe a PS2 era game. But those would probably be like RPGs, strategic RPGs, tactics types games. Nothing, no like action games from that era.
does the retro stuff just not interest you at all, or you just like over it? Like you don't see the point of going back?
I think I'm just kind of over it. It's like there's so much improvement in like quality of life things. Like you go back, you're like, oh man, I can't fast travel. I can't run. Like this game won't even allow me to run. I gotta like walk through everything. I can't. Like I said, I was playing the Prinny collection, right? Neither one of those games has auto. When you get to like a cutscene, quote unquote, where they're like
To skip
the
it,
voice acting
yeah,
is
that's rough.
reading. Like the voice acting is fine for the game, right? But every time they finish the line, I have to click the A button to get to the next text box, right? In the newer games, you could just push like a button and it just automatically, like every time it gets to the end of the text, it goes to the next person, automatic on its own. So you can just kind of sit there and listen until it's all finished. Like that.
Yeah, that could be. That's frustrating.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like that little bit of quality of life thing is like when you go back to not having it, you're like, oh fuck, how did I ever put up with this?
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I don't know. I just part of it for me too is just the nostalgia of going back and playing games that I enjoy playing. But for me too, it's also like I try to master games that like now that I had a hard time. Well, master. I suck at games really, but like I try to do better than like I did as a child, and now especially like with being able to look up strategies online that I really didn't know of earlier, like being able to beat Mike Tyson because I watched somebody do it in a video. That was a really proud moment for me, like in my gaming history, to say that I could do that. So I don't know. That's kind of part of the appeal for me too. But also like going and finding games that new stuff that was old that I never tried. Like that appeals to me. So I
That
can kind of
noise.
look.
Hold on. If you hear that noise, somebody in my neighborhood is shooting off fireworks.
Huh?
No idea why.
You sure it's
This is
fireworks and
the
not
area I live.
gunshots?
Yeah, I've tried. Like I've tried to go back and play some older games, right? And you sit down, you're playing for like 10 minutes. I'm like, this is crap. What am I doing? Like, why am I torturing myself to play this?
Yeah, I guess if you just, I don't know what it is. I just like it. I can do it. I can go back and play it. I like it.
CM
But
Retro Gaming says I like both retro and modern. Well, with the name like CM Retro Gaming, I would hope you liked retro gaming at least a little bit.
yeah. I like modern stuff too, CM Retro. There's some good stuff out there. Some new
Art Bell
stuff.
says TurboGrafx 16, Neo Geo are the most exciting consoles. Loads of great and mysterious games I never knew existed. SNK maybe will release a better mini. Maybe.
I love the TurboGrafx too. I have one. I don't have a whole lot of games for it though because it's just they're so expensive to buy for, but it is a cool system.
Yeah, for me, like an RPG, I can go back and play like a Final Fantasy game or a Shining Force or even like a War Song or a Lin Grisser. Like all those type of games I could play. But when it comes to like an action game or a platformer, like it's just so frustrating. Like I don't know. When I was a little kid, it took me like 2 years to beat Mega Man 2, and I was so proud of it. Right, I fucking beat Mega Man 2.
Hmm.
But now I just don't have the patience. I'm like, why am I
It is
suffering?
it is tough to do those games where it's like you have to start back over at the beginning. Like it does. Like it is kind of that is kind of the nice thing these days about save states. Like if you do play um, on a system that offers
Emulation.
save states. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I guess it's kind of emulation. I mean, like you can do like the Retron 5 where I guess it's still kind of emulation where you put the cartridge in and it just dumps the ROM. But I'll do that. Like I'll play games and I'll use save states to try to get better at a part. And then I'll go back and just play it like on original hardware with the normal way of playing it. So,
No Call No Show says I've always been a Neo Geo fan, but as I get older, I love them even more because I have less time and you can play them for 10 minutes to 4 hours. Yeah, I think the time is one of the things, one of the factors. Because like, why am I playing this older game when I could be using that time for a newer game?
yeah. I'm gonna
And
start a thing. I've decided I'm gonna start a video series where I just do I'm gonna do like a random. It's gonna be like blind pick NES or something like that, where I just like cover my eyes and I pick like a random game out of my collection and I have to play it, no matter if it's good or bad, and talk about it and do like a little review of it. I think I might try to start doing stuff like that.
yeah, it sounds interesting. I mean, I've thought about going back and trying to play old games or have Max Sidekick play all the old games and give his reaction, but I don't know.
Time
I
is
think all my
limited,
reaction will
so
be like, "This game is crap."
yeah, just play what you love, dude. Like the amount of time that we have to actually play games is why suffer for something you don't want to play. Like just play what you love.
And any developers who happen upon this stream who wants to make a old school game, like you're making a retro inspired game, don't copy the frustrating elements of old games, right? Don't copy the not being able to save anywhere. Don't copy the not being able to run or you can't change direction when you jump because that's how the old platformers used to be, like fucking Castlevania originally, right? Give us the old style graphics and the old style gameplay, but with the new quality of life, improvements. Give us the best
I I,
best of both worlds, right?
I agree. I like that. That
Seriously.
is a hard thing about playing games and not being able to move when you jump. Like that is a hard thing to do. But I'd like it. I don't mind it. If it's a game I'm used to or old games, I give it a pass.
Yeah. So that's the poll. And now, if I was being disingenuous, if I was trying to be slick, I'm going to show you how you be slick with a poll like this. If somebody asked me, I would say that 72% of the people who answered the poll said they were retro gamers.
Yeah.
See, if I listed a whole bunch of more options, then I could manipulate the poll. And that's how you manipulate statistics and data. Don't do that. That'll give you fucked up results. But if you wanted to have a result to be in your favor, you ask an ambiguous question, give a bunch of options, and then group them together in a way that
Group
suits
them and
your.
say, look, yeah,
Like I could put
I
a poll that
definitely
says,
do that.
"What if you could only have two systems for the rest of your life? Right? What would they be?" And if I put Amico and PS5, Amico and Xbox, Amico and Super Nintendo, Amico and TurboGrafx, then I could just say 100% of all the people who voted in this poll wanted the Amico.
That would be a Tommy Tallarico thing.
Right? But that's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
Like, so when people cite statistics or cite graphs, or always ask what was the question asked and what were the options to the question, because that'll really expose what they're trying to do.
Good advice.
Our second poll question was, what kind of gaming content do you want to see more on the channel? The options were reviews, indie spotlights, developer interviews, obscure gaming spotlights, or gaming news. And in a surprise, I was surprised by these results. We had 74 votes, and they kind of went in a nice little step thing here.
Yeah.
Reviews only got 12%, so people don't really want to see reviews. Indie spotlights got 16%, tied with developer interviews. Obscure game spotlights got 22% of the vote. And gaming news, 34%. So a third of you said you'd rather have gaming news than anything else on the channel.
Wow.
Which is interesting because the gaming news stuff always does the worst. Go figure.
Yeah.
So if you're voting for gaming news, I should see at least 33%. So what is 1/3 of 75? So about 25 views on every gaming news video. If I'm getting less than that, you guys are lying to yourselves.
Well, that's about how many people voted for it. A third of the
Right.
votes. Well, I guess so those are your viewers on the gaming content, gaming news content.
We're at the big poll question, Dazed.
Dun,
What
dun, dun,
is
dun.
the better console? Which console is better? Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. It was a tight race. We had Sega took an early lead, and then Super Nintendo slowly closed the gap. Right now, we're sitting at 240 votes.
Wow. I don't know what the result is. I'm curious.
One result, one choice has 49%. The other choice, 51%. That's how close.
That's awesome.
I am a Super Nintendo fan, obviously. Days Gaming.
Me too. I'm Super Nintendo. I like the Sega Genesis, but I love the Super Nintendo.
Show says Super Nintendo wins. Are we right? That's what I'm talking about. So let's take a look at the results. Hopefully, y'all made the right choice. Now, I'm disappointed that even it got to 50-50, right? I'm disappointed that many people would voted Sega Genesis. Here it is, gentlemen.
Dun, 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 dun.
51%
oh,
of the vote. Super
yes.
Nintendo takes it.
Just barely. That's pretty amazing. 200 is still that close. Like, that's how tight that was. That's how big of a deal that was back then. Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis. Right down the middle.
So we're talking what? It won by like less than 5 votes.
Yeah. Because it
Something
was
like that.
50-50 the other. It was 50-50 the other day, and it was like 220 votes or something like that. I think.
Yeah, and I think the poll's not 100% accurate. I think they round up and round down a little. So it's probably really like 49 point something and then 50 point something.
Yeah.
But Super Nintendo wins. Looks like me and Days were on the right side of history once again. Fortunately
I
for
don't think
Gary,
we can't be too proud of this win. This was close. The Sega Genesis had a great showing.
they had a great showing. It was only two choices. If I threw the Turbo Graphics in, Sega Genesis probably would have lost by a bigger margin. Sega people crying. That's right, Brandy. Sega people crying. It looked like Sega was going to win. I was worried. I was a little bit worried. And then the mail-in ballots started coming in. Started getting those. The overseas, the absentee ballots filtered in slowly. Super Nintendo took it. That's it. It's declared the winner for all times. I don't want to hear anybody else on this channel ever say Sega Genesis is better than Super Nintendo because the fans have spoken. Now, please refresh. I just voted. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but I'll refresh.
People are voting now.
Yeah, we're going to refresh, and all of a sudden Sega's going to win. Like, no. No. Look at that. 50,
oh,
50.
no.
Six
people
votes.
have voted.
Well, it is now 50-50. Bam. And, as you know, Days Gaming, I'm not allowed to vote. I can't vote on my own polls. When you make a poll, you can't vote. However,
Here we go. Hang on a minute.
I did say that if it was a
Here,
tie, I'm the tiebreaker vote. Super Nintendo.
Well, here's the deal.
Wins.
Here's the deal. I have not voted yet, so I have forgotten to vote, so I just voted. But it's still 50-50.
Is it?
247 votes.
Either way, I get the tiebreaker vote. And, of course, I am voting for the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
247 votes. 7 votes were late. I don't know where these votes from Sega. Sega is cheating, obviously. Trying to
Gary's
stuff the ballot
got
box
alt accounts, and Gary's got alt accounts going right now.
Gary pops up when mysteriously Sega gets 6 more votes. I don't know. Sounds like Days Gaming was kicked out of the stream. I don't know what happened there. But it sounds like some BS to me. Sega Genesis came in second. There's no shame in second place. No shame. But Super Nintendo has won the poll. It's official. We declared it the winner. You guys can vote as much as you want now. The election is over. Right, Dave?
Yes.
The election is over. Your votes do not count anymore.
Are people still voting?
Apparently they're still trying to vote. They're trying to stuff the ballot box at the end.
We're calling it.
We called it. We called it early. We called it. Super Nintendo. Even with you guys stuffing the ballot box at 50-50, it's still Super Nintendo. Thank you for everybody who voted. Remember, every week we're going to have new polls up, so please pay attention to the community tab. Just take a mosey over to it. Vote. Express your opinion. Leave a comment. Let us know how you feel about things. Remember, we're always looking to hear from our fans because we actually care about what your opinions are.
Yes, we do.
I voted Sega twice. Stolen election. That's right. They stole the election. Now, just me saying that is going to get the video flagged. You're like, did you say stolen election?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Service.
No, we're talking about Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, not Joe Biden.
Vote Sega no matter who. Oh my God, it's 250 votes now. Somehow, Sega Genesis is now winning.
It doesn't matter. We called it. It's in the record books. That video is done. Super Nintendo wins.
Potion Sword Run says just voted for the blur. Sega does what Nintendo don't. Rigged. My vote wasn't counted.
Your votes, but you've been disenfranchised.
To steal? No. It's okay. Retro Bro Biden. Everybody, let's storm. Oh, you're gonna storm the capital of Nintendo, the Nintendo offices.
They're gonna storm your community tab.
Show says that he had both back then, so I was good. I had the Super Nintendo. My brother had the Sega Genesis. I actually had 5 games for the Sega Genesis that were my games, despite not actually owning the system. And I owned the Sega CD that I hooked up to my brother's Sega Genesis.
You had the Sega CD, but you didn't have the.
Yeah.
Oh, King of All Buttocks just posted a video. Popped up. Minnie Craig sings about Canadian Gamer.
We'll watch that in the after show. We have plenty.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was the fan polls. I guess we could talk a little bit about the Intellivision Amico. You want to talk some Amico?
Oh, yeah. Dave? Of course. I'm a freaking addict.